What is up, guys? Tyson Dela Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Happy Sunday. Today is January 19th, 2025. Happy Sunday. If you're catching this on the live, come on in. Come on in. Shout out to all the moderators in the chat. What is up, moderators? We got some of the best moderators in the business. And shout out to everybody in the live chat. Everybody in the live chat gets a kudos. If you're catching this on the replay, type in replay in the comment section down below. What is up, my beautiful peeps? Whoo-wee! We got a hot, steamy 24 hours, less than 24 hours. I'm going to do a quick roll call. What's up, Simply? Rob in the house. My Mind, Terry, Sandra, Phyllis. What's up, Bobby, Scott? Bobby and Scott, excuse me. Michelle, Joe, hope everybody's doing amazing today. Heather, Sherry, hope everybody's doing amazing. This next 24 hours is going to be insane in the membrane, okay? American political stage is set. The curtain is rising on, at least in my experience, one of the most dramatic inaugurations in modern history. We're talking about armored motorcades, anti-drone technology on these motorcades, rumors about a potential midnight swearing in tonight. This isn't an ordinary transition of power, if you would, guys. There's been a lot of stuff floating around. Reports have shown that Trump's motorcade has been outfitted with these anti-drone technology. I'm going to share this real quick. His motorcade has been outfitted with anti-drone technology right here, signaling that the security measures on this inauguration are so high here. The technology, based on what I was reading on these anti-drone technologies on these SUV, these little antennas here, it is set to intercept threats from above, including potential drone strikes. This is getting a little bananas. Mary says, Rob, I'm nervous. What is up, Gina? Gina in the house. Rob says, Trump's going to be fine. I think so too, but the massive amount of security measures that are going on here is wild. It is wild. Let me continue to share this video here. Now, I just want to show you guys these things because for them to have these on these vehicles, because we still don't know what's going on with these drones. We haven't heard anything about these drones. Scott said, I knew the evil left was going to have some wicked trick at the inauguration. And I think, guys, this is just me saying this out loud. I think that this is why there's been so many switches. Okay, we're moving to the rotunda. There's been whispers about actually doing it at the White House. There's also been whispers about doing it possibly tonight, which could happen. But it's the security here is insane. Trump landed last night in the dark, and they frequently do this in the dark. He did this when he was flying overseas, but they land in the dark. He lands in pitch black to help with any safety concerns or anything like that. My Mind says tomorrow is going to be the best birthday gift for America and me, as my birthday is January 21st. Everybody, we got to give My Mind a round of applause, man. Happy birthday, My Mind. I know this year's been super gnarly. Happy birthday, my man. Happy birthday. Happy pre-birthday. Happy pre-birthday. Yes, that's what I think. They're going to do it early. They possibly might. They possibly might.
Your inauguration being moved.
Donald Trump lands in the middle, pitch black. To the heightened security. What is up, great? Watching from the Philippines. I'm half Filipino, actually. Filipino and German. So shout out to the Philippines. Philippines in the house. Anyways, there are some sources that suggest Trump will possibly be sworn in closed doors at the White House, possibly by tonight. This is definitely a possible misdirection than what we've traditionally had in inaugurations due to the security concerns, these massive security concerns that are going on. Midnight swearing in is legal. It's possible because technically it would be the 20th. So if they did it at midnight and they still did the ceremony, it still would be legal. The ceremony itself kind of, these whispers kind of raise some questions about safety and security and potential strategy. No official statement has come out that they're actually going to do this, but the heightened security here is insane. Terry says, I'm at work waiting for the snow. Be safe, my man. Retired Nana, I think Biden will give us a last hoorah. Search him and don't let him near Trump. He leaves in shame and he knows it. Absolutely. Scott said, they're desperate because they all know that they will not have minor penalties. They have literally been trying to destroy this country since groundwork of 2008. Ergy says, I was there in 1985, Reagan's second inauguration, and we went down but watched it from the Unos in Georgetown. It was 7 degrees. Holy tamale. Finding Dory has a good point here. I think it should be in closed doors at midnight tonight. I think that might happen. They still might do the ceremony, but I think this closed door situation might happen. These reports claim, like these whispers, we all know what the potential possibilities of the deep state are, and they're pulling out all the potential stops to prevent Trump to return with these continued would-be assassination attempts and things like that. I think this Trump administration is going to expose massive amounts of corruption in the DOJ and in the deep state. This is just my personal opinions here. Let's jump into this video here with this heightened security of these helicopters flying over Washington looking for potential nukes.
Regularities, threats like dirty bombs.
So you're trying to create a blueprint of what the radiation in Washington, D.C. looks like ahead of the inauguration. Correct.
Department of Energy scientist Jacqueline Brandon calls this low-flying helicopter one of just 2 of its kind, her office.
If we find a radiological irregularity, we'll investigate it even further.
Highly sensitive technology sets off alarms in the air.
That's an alarm. That is an alarm. It's a slight variation in our spectra is what it's saying.
Exclusive look at how security officials are prepared after months of planning.
So I have another one here. This is a better one.
Throughout the city, a ring of steel, 30 miles of anti-scale fencing. And along the icy Potomac, more than 25 Coast Guard vessels lined up.
Ready to deploy.
Ready to deploy.
Captain Patrick Burkett says teams are now prepping
What's up,
frozen
Riskin?
waterways for patrol after a recent storm.
That put a lot of strain and stress on our resources and our personnel, and everyone knew that January was going to be a busy month.
Dubbed a national special security event demanding the highest level of federal protection, the inauguration comes just days after two others, January 6th electoral count and former President Jimmy Carter's funeral.
Speaking of TikTok, right? Oh, man. Let me jump through some of these comments here. Everything should be a mystery for this inauguration. And I think that's what they're doing, because no official statement, and I don't think an official statement will come out from the Trump team indicating on where and what. There's been, they've said that the parade is canceled. I think everything is going to be low key for this particular inauguration just because of the heightened security threat. So I agree with you, Scott. I'm very nervous for the next couple days. I think I feel that the security has it locked in. They have it locked in. Bright Star, what is up, Bright Star? Thank you for the video, by the way. I will check out the video after this live. I totally agree. Expose massive corruption. Stacey R says, I'm so happy Trump chose to be inside. I also think Dan Bongino, we all know Dan Bongino, got him about the security. Trump hired his own team. Donald DT did hire his own security team. This is way over this admin SS security, because we got to remember the current SS, the current Secret Service is still from the previous administration until post inauguration. Great says praying for Trump's administration success. Absolutely, absolutely. All right. Now, I pulled up this video here just to kind of give a map of Trump's second inauguration and the map that it's going to follow and how it's going to roll out here.
The day will begin with a service at St. John's Church, Lafayette Square. This is a historic church in Washington, D.C., followed by tea at the White House. Trump and President Joe Biden are expected to travel together by armored car to the Capitol, accompanied by probably Vice President Kamala Harris, Vance, their respective families, and other dignitaries. Due to heavy snow, the inauguration address, along with prayers and other speeches, was scheduled to be delivered inside the United States Capitol Rotunda. It is so spacious that it can accommodate the Statue of Liberty. At the Capitol, Vance will take the oath of office, after which Trump will be sworn in for his second term as president. Following the swearing-in ceremony, Trump will deliver his second inaugural address from the presidential inaugural platform, addressing thousands of spectators on the National Mall and millions of viewers around the world. Security on Inauguration Day will be extremely tight, as January 20 has been designated a national special security event coordinated by the U.S. Secret Service with substantial federal resources allocated. Approximately 24,000 law enforcement officers, including National Guardsmen from the District of Columbia, will provide security support for Trump's inauguration. Additionally, about 33 miles of 8-foot-tall temporary fencing will be erected to ensure safety throughout the event. A little history about Capitol Hill.
I just thought this was a super cool video, so.
The central sections of the current building were completed in 1800. Although partially destroyed during the burning of Washington in 1814, they were fully restored within 5 years. In the 1850s, the building was expanded by extending the wings to accommodate the bicameral legislature, the House of Representatives in the South Wing and the Senate in the North Wing. The iconic dome, a massive architectural feat, was completed around 1866, shortly after the American Civil War. In 1958, the East Front portico was extended to enhance the structure's grandeur. Let's first examine the layout and security of the U.S. Capitol, assuming there's favorable weather conditions. This prestigious event can be organized into several key sections. The inaugural address is typically delivered from an 8-sided platform equipped with bulletproof glass for security. Surrounding the building, snipers are stationed at strategic points, including teams positioned at the base of the Capitol dome, ensuring the safety of all attendees. At the forefront of the arrangement is the main platform, where U.S. President Donald J. Trump, Vice President Vance, their aides, and other VIPs, including the Joint Chiefs of Staff, are seated. This platform serves as the focal point of the inauguration, as it is here that the president takes the oath of office and delivers the inaugural address to the nation. Adjacent to the main platform is the inner platform, which seats U.S. senators. To the right of this area, members of the U.S. House of Representatives can be found. The outer platform accommodates state governors and members of the diplomatic corps, offering them a prominent view of the proceedings. Just below the main platform lies the designated ticketed seating area, reserved for invited guests. These tickets are generally distributed by the attendees' state legislators to ensure broad representation from across the nation. Beyond the ticketed sections are two expansive non-ticketed viewing areas accessible to members of the general public who wish to witness the event firsthand. Finally, at the farthest point, the area around the Washington Monument serves as the final non-ticketed zone. While it is farther from the main event, it offers a panoramic view of the Capitol grounds and remains an integral part of the inauguration's grand atmosphere. Following the swearing-in ceremony, the newly inaugurated president and vice president will embark on a celebratory parade along Pennsylvania Avenue, making their way to the White House. The parade route will be meticulously secured to ensure the safety of all participants and attendees. The transportation and security details for the president can cost around $150 million or more in a single year for the Secret Service to operate the Beast, a Cadillac built like a tank, the Marine One helicopter, which is the latest Sikorsky VH-92 Patriot, the Ground Force One heavily armored bus, and finally Air Force One, the presidential aircraft, which is equipped with an advanced electronic air defense system designed to counter missile threats. However, what often proves to be the most challenging aspect for the Secret Service is managing the extensive motorcades. These motorcades are typically led by local law enforcement vehicles, followed by the pilot car, which is outfitted with electronic warfare capabilities. Directly behind the pilot car are two identical Cadillac limousines known as the Beast, which are heavily armored. The purpose of having two identical vehicles is to confuse potential assassins, making it difficult to determine which car the president is in. Following these lead vehicles are several other specialized cars, including the Roadrunner, a mobile communications system. We will also be looking at different scenarios, such as what happens if the Beast is hit by a simple FPV drone, and how a Marine One rescue operation coordinates with the motorcade, all in the video ahead. To give you an idea of how the Air Force had to adjust its routes during critical situations, let's look at what happened after the Twin Towers were struck during the 9/11 attacks. Air Force One was stationed at Sarasota Airport. It began takeoff at 9:55 a.m., but shortly after, the crew received a report that someone armed with a Stinger missile might be positioned at the end of the runway. This forced the pilot to change course to avoid any potential threat. However, the report later turned out to be false. Meanwhile, a jetliner crashed into the Pentagon, which had possibly been aimed at the White House, and another attack seemed imminent. Due to widespread miscommunication and misinformation, Air Force One was redirected towards Barksdale Air Force Base. With uncertainty about how many more hijacked planes might be targeting Washington, D.C., the Secret Service decided it was too dangerous to return the president to the Capitol.
Pretty cool. I'm going to fast forward here a little bit here to the motorcade situation.
Stage 1 of the motorcade includes the local police vehicle, which acts as the lead car. Directly behind it is the Secret Service pilot SUV. These two vehicles work in coordination to clear the road, ensuring the route is safe and secure. Following these vehicles are motorcycles, also known as sweepers, which provide additional support. The sweepers can intervene if the pilot car commands them to stop at any intersection, especially if there's a need to investigate any suspicious activity. Stage 2 consists of the high-value asset, which includes another local police vehicle and a second Secret Service pilot car. At the center of this stage is the president's car, commonly known as the Beast. It has another identical twin, traveling closely together but in separate lanes whenever possible. This is to add an extra layer of security and prevent identification or confuse the attackers of the president's exact position.
So what I'll do is after this live, I'll place the entire video in the description link down below. This is just reminding me, I had recently watched this movie with Gerard Butler and Morgan Freeman, and it was called what was it called? Angel Has Fallen, and it was very eerie because Morgan Freeman plays the president, Gerard Butler plays the head of the Secret Service, and they they attempted an assassination on Morgan Freeman, the president, and they used these drone attacks to do it. And if you haven't seen that movie, I thought it was a pretty decent movie. You know, it reminded me of like a very like 1990s action film. CGI wasn't the best, but it just reminded me of like an old school 1990s, mid 90s, late 90s action film. Pretty good. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Gina says these vehicles are pretty badass. Yeah, absolutely. Johnny Sunglasses say this event is going to be a huge, is going to be huge. Click material, which much addo nothing. Or yes, I worn out the edge of my seat. Rob said, I want the beast car. yeah, that thing looks super awesome. Yeah, Stacy says, Olympus has fallen. Yeah, I think there's like 3 of them. There's Olympus has fallen, and the most recent one was Angel has fallen. I think that one was in 2019. The Olympus was fallen, I think came out in like 2016 or something like that. But there's a few. Anyways, I'll place the description for this link I'll place the description or the link for this video in the description down below in case you guys want to check it out. I want to go over a couple more things before I jump off. This was the fireworks show last night. I have to mute it because of copyright. But how cool is this? What a cool sight. Even to watch this vicariously through the screen here and then see President Trump and Melania watch these fireworks. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Gina says, Rob, you're the beast car, my man. Stacy says, oh, you're looking sharp today, Tyson. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. So that is that's the images from the fireworks. I'm excited for the inauguration. I'm going to jump into this video real quick with Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson talking about the Biden's inability to make decisions, and finally all this stuff is coming out, right? We knew this. We knew this since Biden was inaugurated, that he wasn't the one making decisions, but Mike Johnson stamps it right here along with other news outlets.
And I say this without any personal animus at all. I mean, in some ways I actually kind of feel sorry for Joe Biden. I mean, he's in the twilight years of his life. He is not, obviously has not been in charge for some time. And I know this by personal observation, and now the whole world knows it. And it's been very, very concerning to me over the last, year and a half since I've had this position.
Can you tell us a story when you say personal observation? What kind
well,
of
I
thing
mean,
did you see?
It's public now because the Wall Street Journal got it and put it on the front page. But January a year ago, almost exactly a year ago, I had been asked, I became speaker in October 2023, and there were all sorts of big national security concerns and everything going on, and I started requesting a meeting with the president because, I'm kind of old school. I'm a constitutional law guy. The Speaker of the House should be able to talk to the president, especially in times of great national interest and calamity. But they wouldn't let me meet with him, and his staff kept giving me excuses. This went on for like 8 or 9 weeks. I'm sorry, Mr. Speaker, he doesn't have time. What are you talking about? I'm second in line of the presidency. He has time. I need to talk to him. We had, I can't say the classified parts, but we had some big national concerns at the time that I was losing sleep over. Finally, I just went to the Hill Press Corps and I said, the president is not being allowed to meet with the speaker. There's a problem. So they started putting pressure on him. Long story short, they finally relented. They invited me to the White House. I show up and I realize it's actually an ambush because it's not just me and the president. It's also Kamala Harris, Chuck Schumer, Hakeem, the CIA director, everybody. And then, so I walked in the Oval and, I know what this is. They're going to hotbox the speaker on Ukraine funding. That's what it was. This is probably 3rd week of January. We sit down, we're in the midst of it, and the whole conversation, and I'm going, we don't need to have this conversation. The president reaches over just like this. We're sitting right next to the fireplace in the Oval, and he grabs my arm and he says, the speaker and I just need a couple minutes together. Would y'all just leave us alone? And I looked up on the faces of some of the staff standing around the wall, and they're like, oh, no, he did it. So he called it. He's the commander-in-chief. So everybody leaves, and he and I are standing awkwardly in the middle of the Oval Office right over the rug by that coffee table. And I said, Mr. President, thanks for the moments. This is very important. I got some big national security things I need to talk to you about that I've heard and I think you know, and what do we do? But first, real quickly, Mr. President, can I ask you a question? I cannot answer this from my constituents in Louisiana. Sir, why did you pause LNG exports to Europe? Like, I don't understand, liquefied natural gas is in great demand by our allies. Why would you do that? Because you understand, we just talked about Ukraine. You understand you're fueling Vladimir Putin's war machine because they got to get their gas from him, And he looks at me stunned with this, and he said, I didn't do that. And I said, Mr. President, yes, you did. It was an executive order, 3 weeks ago. And he goes, no, I didn't do that. And he's arguing with me. I said, Mr. President, respectfully, could I go out here and ask your secretary to print it out? We'll read it together. You definitely did that. And he goes, oh, you talk about natural gas. Yes, sir. He said, no, you misunderstand. He said, what I did is I signed this thing we're gonna conduct a study on the effects of LNG. I said, no, you're not, sir. You paused it. I know. I have the export terminals in my state. I talked to those people this morning. This is doing massive damage to our economy, national security. It occurred to me, Barry, he was not lying to me. He genuinely did not know what he had signed. And I walked out of that meeting with fear and loathing because I thought, we're in serious trouble. Who is running the country? I don't know who put the paper in front of him, but he didn't know.
Yikes. We already knew that, though. We already knew that. Johnny Sunglasses, Mike Johnson needs a bit ironing, but he's slowly coming around. I think so, too. Slowly coming around. I think with this, with post this inauguration and this new administration coming in, the ability to speak more freely, not only for us here and over there in Washington. They're cleaning out some crap. They're cleaning out them nasty drains clogged with hair. They're draining it. Bobby says, where's Fauci? He wasn't pardoned. He's on the run. Fauci on the run. Fauci on the... He should be on the run. He should be on the run. All of his crimes, having people take these vid shots. It's all crap. It is all crap. I do believe the next election, the only Democrat who's actually going to last, sadly, is going to be Gavin Newsom. I think you might be right there. I think you might be right. I think that's the only one in the hopper right now. Unless Kamala decides to run again. If LA didn't burn down, he would have a tiny bit of chance. I agree. There was a video that was sent over to me, I'm going to say anonymously, last night. But it is about... let me see, a few hours out of DC, and the sender sent it over to me, and there were some flashing lights outside of DC. She's not too far away from DC, and there wasn't any... let me see if I can play this here. Let me make sure that it's legit. It's not going to be good quality on my phone, but there were some flashing lights. She's maybe an hour and a half outside of DC, and there were some series of flashing lights where she's at, and she had said that the sender said that there was possibly something going on in DC, doesn't know what's going on. She checked the weather reports, and there was no lightning or thunder, but this particular situation, these light flashes showed that there was, it looked like lightning or thunder. It sounded like thunder, she says. So I don't know what is going on, but the protections here at this inauguration is insane. It's great. It's good. I'm glad that they're being really protective over this situation. I'm glad that they're not openly stating where the address is going to be held. They might do it midnight. Who knows? Who knows? Helicopters are scanning for radioactive material, security sweeps, consistent security sweeps. There was an incident with this like Penske truck last night. This Penske truck was trying to get through some barricades. I don't know what those scenarios are. I don't have finite details on that, so I don't want to pop that out on the intrawebs, but I'm glad that the security measures are heightened here. This, even seeing this right here, these, oh, it's not sharing. Hold on. Even, with these anti-drone technologies on these SUVs, shows that there's this heightened sense of security here at this inauguration. Milwaukee Zoo says, flashing lights, Kanye West type flashing lights. Yeah. There, the image or the phone quality which was sent over to me isn't the best, but let me see if I can. She was outside. She said she was going to send some more photos, but yeah, Kanye West type flashing lights. So I don't know. Gina says, Tyson, there's been drones over the White House. Yep. It's very interesting to me that DJI, the China manufacturing drone company, eliminated complete restrictions over non-fly zones. So you can fly your drones over these areas, the airport, the White House, all these particular things. I don't know. Risking My Biscuit says, I hope Trump is president. He makes a deal with Taiwan and puts some military bases on that island. Yep. Bobby says, I'm 1 hour from DC, but south. Interesting. No lights, but definitely heard thunder noises. Yeah. Kanye looks like a puffier version of Diddy. That's funny. Oh man. Yeah, the geofencing on the DJI drones is down. So, Risking My Biscuit said it's also fishy that China refused to go to the inauguration. Yep. All right. I'm gonna jam on out of here. I'm going to see when this inauguration eve event occurs, and I'll more than likely be streaming that because I'm going to be watching it. So I'll probably do a watch party. But I wanted to give a huge shout out before I jump out to all the moderators in the chat. Shout out to the moderators in the chat. And then everybody in the chat, in the live chat. You guys are freaking awesome. You guys rock. And if you're catching this on the replay, type in replay in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think about the heightened security measures at Trump's inauguration. Let me know what you think about, hey, are they intentionally being misleading? Are they not being misleading? And are they doing it for security measures? Let me know what you think about Mike Johnson. Drop it down in the comment section down below. And smash that like button. Yes, smash the like button, share, subscribe if you'd like to. And I will catch you guys on the next one. We'll chat soon, guys.